Anyways, how are you guys doing, family? I have not been here in a really long time. I haven't posted, and I know that, but it's for good reasoning. And this video here, I would like to just do an update video to kind of share what's been happening within my life, what's been happening within Flora of Hope, and to give you guys a better understanding of why I haven't really been posting. So to get this video started, I am going to talk about kind of three main topics, I guess, or three main umbrellas. Umbrellas. This is actually clouds. Shout out to Nat and Seifu, Planet Umoja, and Krista T. Love them, that's my fam. Krista T is Nat's daughter, and we always dance whenever I go down there. And one time we were dancing and she said, do improv, we're gonna do improv, and she said, clouds. And I immediately started going like this. Because I was just trying, in my mind I was thinking about the tops of the clouds, like their little puffs on the tops, and I was trying to do all of them at the same time. And so yeah, now it's just become iconic. We do the cloud dance when we see each other. But anyways, totally off topic, I just rambled. That's how much I miss you guys. I have just so much to tell you guys. But anyway, so three main topics or umbrellas that I'm going to be talking about are some shifts, changes, or goals I set for myself at the beginning of the year, an update on how school is going, and those two things kind of link each other. Sorry, if I look away from the camera, it's because I'm also watching Daisy, as you guys saw. We're at the little dog park at my place, so I just gotta keep an eye on her. But anyway, so the shifts in kind of goals that I set at the beginning of the year and how school is doing kind of link together, and the link in which they come together at are making Flora of Hope my reality. Before, or initially when I came up with Flora of Hope, or when it came to me I should say, I thought of it almost like as a side entity, something that it did bring me joy. It helped me overcome a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. It helped me just express myself again, be creative. It reignited or kind of created new neurological pathways within my brain and helped me find love within life again. And so, but when I first did it, it was like, okay, that's this, and then this is life, and then I applied this to this. But at the beginning of the year, I kind of said, okay, instead of applying this to this, let's just like mix it all together and combine everything and grow it all together in one big combination of, you know, who I am, what my journey is, what my passion is, why I'm here, what I'm here to share. And so topic one or umbrella one, umbrella two are those two things. And then the third thing I'll talk about is just kind of how those things have impacted me. And so yeah, so those two aspects, those two umbrellas kind of influence umbrella three again. And so I'll get right into it. I'll get started. It's now September. Today is September 4th. Not sure what day that I'll post this video, but on this present moment, this present day, this time space, it's September 4th, 2018. So it's now 9 months, into the year, and in the beginning of the year, or I should rather start at the ending of last year, I went through a little mental, I ain't having it anymore kind of phase. I just was very, very tired of the way that my experience within college and my academic career was going. And as I said before, I had plans of my college leading into FloraOfHope, and those two things combining. If any of you have ever visited my website, I kind of talk about it in the about part. If you haven't, you should check that out. But so I wanted to pursue a career in art therapy and ecotherapy. And if anybody would like, I probably should do that. I should do another 2 videos or one video talking about what those exactly are. But for now, we'll just leave it at that. So my plans and my thoughts of pursuing that originally were to study psychology throughout my undergrad, and then pursue a master's in art therapy, and then by that time I would think further on to how I can incorporate or pursue ecotherapy into it. So different horticulture practices, different just learning, botany, learning about the environment, environmental science, all of that kinds of stuff, learning just nature therapy, walking, hiking, everything that all encompasses ecotherapy. Or all those things are encompassed within ecotherapy. So I just I didn't feel like I was achieving what I actually wanted to achieve by going the route of studying psychology first, because I kept running into the issue of, I guess, the Western version of dealing with or coping with psychology and mental illness and those areas. And so those were a lot of talk therapy, a lot of, just talk and research and studies about medications and things, which obviously that's like knowledge that I still am grateful to obtain, because all knowledge is good. At the end of the day, it's up to the individual to decipher what, they can use as their tools to, within their practices. And so I still appreciate loved it, but it wasn't sinking in, and I kind of missed being creative. I would want to stay home from class and just do art at home, or paint some pots, or garden, or go to a plant nursery, or and I couldn't do those things within, for one, the institution I was at the time, and then also just with the way that my schedule and my curriculum was and everything like that. So I told my parents around the end of the year, and I told my family when I went home for Christmas, that I don't want to do this anymore. I am tired of it. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm just going to do FloraOfHope. I'm going all the way. Whatever. I don't care about school. It's overrated. Da, da, da. And I was just done. I just said I'm going to just find programs, get certificates, and I'll just make this what I can make this, And that was my view. That was where I was. And at that point in time, just as a whole, the way that my family reacted and the way that we dealt with it together showed me very clearly a reflection of my personal growth and our growth, like, as a family. And when I say family, I mean even beyond just my immediate family, like my extended family too, because I had a conversation with lots, and close friends. And just like the way that people are willing to still encourage and take time to listen, and just, it was beautiful, and give suggestions and be open-minded to the fact that we can all come up collectively with a bunch of ideas, but still allow me the flexibility to ultimately choose where and what it is that I want to, or what feels right to me. And so we brainstormed together and brainstorm. So anyway, we brainstormed together, and we called up a counselor, advisor that I had met early on in my high school career named Cassandra. She was an advisor at the Art Institute in Miami at the time when I knew her. And so we called her up and just kind of gave her the spiel and told her, please help. we need, you know, kind of guidance on where, how, what, you know. And I kind of tried to explain to her to my vision with Flora of Hope and how I really didn't want it to be a separate entity from my education anymore. My parents and I and my family, everyone, you know, we all collectively came, I don't know, I just kind of, I felt that if I could find the way, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I was frustrated within the path that I was trying, and speaking to them, being home within, you know, in the Bahamas on the farm, holding meditations, praying, and just, you know, grounding myself and kind of listening and waiting and to see what felt right. It kind of made me feel okay about, okay, school might not be that bad if I can find just how to maneuver that. How am I going to strategically maneuver myself through this Babylon system to get the things that I want to get, you know? So so we reached out to Cassandra. She suggested, okay, why not study art? Why not do that as, you know, your undergrad? That way you have more flexibility for choosing other electives, things like that, and it can tie into more of your creativity, tie into just things that kind of stimulate your mind more at this stage. And then after that, you can do just straight art therapy program, or, you know, ecotherapy program, however, or master's program, you know, however that works in. And so we called around to some schools here in South Florida, and first we called to schools that had art therapy programs to make sure that that was even a possibility, if I could even study art as an undergrad and then, you know, still get into a program. And my history in school is kind of vast, because I first started doing veterinary medicine, then that I was like, that kind of, no. Too much debt. I still enjoy and love animals, but it didn't sink in, you know. Something else was my path. So I moved from veterinary medicine, then as I said previously, I studied psychology. That was my major. And then now, so we were suggesting art. And so I said, okay, let's try, you know. So I ended up applying to FIU. I was very late. I went to visit the school. The people that I spoke to were all like, you could try, but maybe just stick it out in Broward, and then, you know, maybe you could transfer after, and da-da-da. Like, it was very, you know, when people are like on the edge, like they want to motivate you, but they're like, I don't want to get your hopes up because it might not be good, you know? It was that kind of situation. And the thing that was so interesting, so I had faith. I just said, you know what? If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And this seems like a logical, it just seemed like, it felt right, you know? It felt right to study art, to pursue that again. It just brought back a lot of memories of how art and creativity healed me in the past when I did it, you know, as a subject in school and that aspect, but also, you know, how I do it creatively through Flora of Hope. And so I decided to just go out on a whim, didn't renew my lease, just started looking for apartments down in this area, which is like 46 miles away from where I used to live. And yeah, and all this, meanwhile, all this time I'm in and out of the country. I'm in the Bahamas while I was doing all this. So I just kind of said, well, let's try. Maybe so, maybe not, you know, let's see. And it worked out. And now I'll get into, I guess, umbrella number 2. How school has been, how I have now incorporated Flora of Hope into my day-to-day reality, and just what that looks like, what that feels like, I will try to add in as many videos and clips and pictures that I can that have occurred throughout the last, school semesters. I did switch phones though. I got a new phone recently, and so I did lose a lot of my media. But anyway, we'll just go with it. So, school has been phenomenal. And that is something that I never thought I would ever utter those words. I, for as long as I can remember, never truly enjoyed school. And even more so, as I mentioned, at the beginning of the video, now college, I still was having those blocks and those struggles. So now, coming to FIU, I came in and I registered or applied as an art major, and I had to still fulfill some other of those requirements just for school, the other classes that you have to take. And so for my science class, I really, 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 really wanted to do botany. And then botany was, if you saw my crown, it was gifted to me by Organic Royal Livity. Yes. If you need anything crocheted, any copper work, Royal Livity, she'll get you right. Yes, so I came in as an art student, and the other classes that I wanted to take, one of the classes were in my sciences. Because when I was doing psychology, I tried to do chemistry, and it wasn't for me. That's just one sentence. It wasn't for me. But so I really wanted to do botany. My advisor was like, "No, you can't do it." He didn't say it like that. No, he was just like, "I don't really recommend that because it's a higher, not higher level, it's a higher level course of science than what you're supposed to take first." So seeing that it was my first college science, well, I took biology, but it was still another college science. So anyway, he was like, "You should take this U00 whatever and do this level first and then choose from this category." And I was like, "Listen, I have this grand idea, I have this brand, I have this dream, I have this vision, FloraOfHope." And I just explained it to him, and I said, "I am passionate about this. I really am interested." I said, "I am tired of watching botany videos on YouTube. I can't register for a gardening class. If I do full-time in school, I don't have that much time to volunteer because please, can you please just, because I needed him to accept me into, or give authorization into the course." So that's why I was in his office like, "Please let me study plants. I need to learn about plants." And he let me do it. So I got to do a botany lecture and lab class. This is my spring semester. And then I also did a beginner painting class, an art history class, and then I had to take a computer class. Well, Excel. So yeah, computer, Microsoft Excel. And it was so amazing. I literally, every day that I went to school, either I was painting, learning about different artists, different art concepts, color theory, getting art lectures, or learning about art history, how art has progressed throughout civilizations, or learning about plants, learning about taxonomy, different characteristics of plants, things that stand out, what different plants are used for, plants, different things about the environment and carbon footprints and carbon emissions, and volunteering, going to the Everglades, going to Fairchild's botanical gardens. I'm probably talking too fast to include all these pictures. Yeah, so my botany class, I visited a lot and learned a lot and had amazing professors, and in my art class likewise, it was just very, very, very transformative. It gave me a new look on education. It just widened my mind, and it made me enthused again. It excited me again. I found the thing that makes my brain click, you know? So it was very humbling. It was very just inspiring. It was a time of self and a time of growth and just meditation. I did just a lot of reading, a lot of just being with myself and kind of embracing the new knowledge that I was acquiring, and at the same time kind of transforming it into, you know, how does this translate into Flora of Hope? And even learning more about the plant kingdom, the plant world is, as you can see, green. Very, oh, I don't know if you guys saw that butterfly. I feel like every video maybe I do have a butterfly visit me. Give thanks for that. But very heart chakra vibrations, very just love. It's our own breath. You know, nature, plants around us, they give us everything that we need in terms of, you know, in all respects, shelter, food, just comfort, medicine, relaxation, healing, sleep, everything. Everything, I feel like everything comes back to nature and back to plants. So the experience of studying and just learning about plants, even though it was just introductory botany, not a big old botanist yet, but just that whole thing, it was very empowering. It humbled me, and for me to gain the things that I gained in an institution, coming from the perspective that I had previously, kind of, you know, shushed me up and just said, you know, hush, open your mind, open your third eye, don't worry about nothing else, just trust your intuition, follow this, have faith. Because I just always can get under that impression that, you know, these constructs, these things, they're bad, there's no good in it, blah blah blah. But when you do that, you belittle yourself, you belittle the power of your manifestations and the desires that you have and the purpose that you have, you know. And so even though I have been in situations where school beat me down, I'm stressed, I'm anxious, I'm depressed, I don't want to do it, I am over flooded with useless, or, you know, because sometimes professors be providing you with useless information, just things to just pass time and just get it going kind of stuff. And I've been in those situations, but also right now I'm experiencing situations where I'm very intentional with what I want, and I'm seeing the manifestations, you know, come into fruition and become reality. And just learning, you know, and learning how to decipher through the other things that I don't want, you know, and just retrieving and receiving the things that I do, and letting law of attraction work its magic. So that brings me into kind of the umbrella number 3, and that's larger in outlook. And with that being said, the whole experience, the last 8 months, just kind of being to myself, it really widened just my thought processes. At the beginning of the year, I also set out to do a social media detox. So I separated myself from Instagram and from Facebook, and from, I guess it even in a sense was a social kind of detox, because I stopped going out for the whole time. I went to maybe 1 or 2 kind of events, but I really just wanted to focus on myself during those 8 months. And even now, right now still, it's probably going to be throughout the rest of the year. I don't know how long, but for now it's working and it feels amazing, and I feel amazing. So yeah, so I did that, and I did that with intentions of just quieting the outside perspectives for, you know, the time being, allowing myself to trust myself, allowing my intuition, my guidance, my faith, Imani, faith, to myself, to guide myself, to, you know, my journey and throughout my journey and to my destiny and my purpose. And it's been so amazing. I can't, you know, it's just been so steady. It's been very smooth. There are times when I get down, when I feel, you know, maybe, what am I doing? Am I doing enough? Is this, you know? But that's what life is, and learning to accept and balance those times just as easily with the times that I'm like, give thanks, I'm exactly where I need to be. Yes, I am doing enough, girl. What are you talking about? Keep pushing. You got this, you know? Balancing those is where you find the peace, and understanding and overstanding that it's a continuous journey. There's no destination of that. You will forever be, you know, trotting and balancing. It's like a jog, it's like a marathon, it's like a race, so however you want to look at it, you know? It's just, it's continuous, it's flowing. And so it's really been enlightening. And I have a video talking about my social media detox, and hopefully it's not too redundant of the things that I said in this video, but I'll definitely post that video next. And this video is just like a little update. And then now, yeah, I can tell you guys about some videos that will be coming up and what I'm doing presently, September 4th, you know, this right now, this is a new semester, I don't know. And also how Larger and Outlook has just opened up new opportunities. So at the end of the semester, first of all, at the beginning of the semester, I transferred in with a GPA of like, I'm not even ashamed to say it, probably like 2.1. I don't remember, but it was bad. I wasn't doing well at all. And I'm not a phenomenal 4.0 student. I've never had 4.0, but I've had decent grades. You know, I'm smart, I'm intellectual, I got it, you know? So at the end of the semester, your girl's on the dean's list. 3.67, give thanks. I don't even remember which class I got a B in, but I got 1B. But it just, even so, I know, and by no means am I saying that their evaluation of my intellect is my judgment of my own intellect, because I know my capability. As I said, even with the 2.1, I still know that I, you know, am a genius, as my great grandpa always used to tell me. But it still is rewarding for myself to know that I set these intentions out there, I put these goals out there, I acquired this knowledge, and when I go into these tests, I'm not even thinking like, oh, the teacher's about to grade it, blah blah. I'm literally looking, every test I guessed my grade before I got it, because I knew I'm looking to see, okay, how much of this knowledge did you retain, how much, you know. And when I go home, I'm fact checking everything, checking library books, all this, checking YouTube videos, documentaries, making sure that everything sinks in. So anyway, so that happened, and then beyond that, I applied for an internship that was throughout the summer. And so the summer internship was in the Bahamas at the Leon Levy Native Plant Preserve, and I got the internship. Probably people already know because it's been on Facebook, it's been on Instagram, because it was obviously in May and June and July, and this is now September, so it's no longer a surprise. I didn't even have to drum roll. But anyways, I'm gonna have a video of that coming up. So yeah, social media detox video coming, Leon Levy Native Plant Preserve internship video coming, and some other videos coming up very soon. This semester, my classes are beginner drawing, 2D design, African civilizations, and environmental science lecture and lab. So I have been in class for like 3 weeks now, and again, phenomenal, because I set these intentions, and just goes to show, you know, I'm very thankful, and this It's been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful year thus far, and I wish the same for all of you guys. I hope that my story can inspire many of you. As I say often, that's always my goal, that's always my prayer, is just to offer inspiration, to offer just love, and to share, to help in whichever way that I can. And so I'm truly thankful, and yeah. Enjoy, full joy, the next videos. Woo! Okay, come on, Daisy.